As you walk through the valley of the shadow of hell, you will realize that there is something ahead. Something that lurks behind the dark veil. A veil that is beyond our own comprehension. Beyond the void.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void
Horror Podcast.
That's right, we're back for a brand new episode. It's episode 128, and today we're going to be doing our GravePlots segment where we make up a movie on the spot by pulling a name, possibly one of your names, fake horror movie titles, by the way, out of our crystal skull with diamond eyes. So I asked a few of you to give us some names, and we got quite a few, so we added some more of our own, and Brittany added some of hers. Well, sort of. We kind of agreed on one. So if you think of one on the side, like, by the way, Brittany, like, just write it down and be like, I got one. You know what I mean?
I'm going to throw it from here and LeBron James.
Well, I mean, like, even when we're not on the podcast, you know what I mean?
Swish.
So we're back from vacation. I took a week off. I went to go visit my family in South Carolina. I had a pretty damn good time. But what about you? Did you have fun with your time off?
Yeah.
Yeah? We're like, what? What'd you do?
Too much?
Too much, huh?
I feel like I overload myself all the time, so
Okay.
that's always fun. I started a new job last week.
Oh, yeah.
This is my second week, so
Yeah, like
good.
you just dropped the other one and just said, oh, fuck it.
Yep, I was like, bye. Bye, Felicia.
She's a mover and a shaker.
Yeah, well, that job sucked.
So you enjoying it?
It was good pay, but
You want to share with the class what you
it
do?
was stupid. Yeah, so I work. I'm not going to say where I work, but I work in the pathology lab at a hospital somewhere.
Yeah.
So I am in a small room that smells weird with a bunch of other people and a bunch of body parts. It's pretty dope. I was telling Alex I got to work on a total leg amputation from like hip down.
Yeah.
And I just kept tickling the foot.
Does it actually kick and stuff when you do that?
No.
I was going to say, like, what is this fucking, like...
I was just messing with it. Like, the toes were all janky, and then I'm all mainly just because I'm fucking weird. And I'm sure my coworkers already think I'm weird, and now they thoroughly are convinced that I'm weird.
Right.
Because I just sat there and tickled a foot on an amputated leg for like
She was
5
telling
minutes.
me, and this is what horrified me, and she said it almost got her fired, but she was deep-throating one of the big toes. Mm-hmm. It had a long nail on it, too.
Yeah, the janky one. I also pulled out the rod that replaced the femur.
Oh, my God, Brittany.
And was
We're kidding, by the way, guys.
Excalibur!
She was
I
all
pulled
smacking.
the sword, I win!
She's like smacking all the other people she works with the foot.
Yeehaw! I wanted to do that, but I don't know them that well yet. They already think I'm strange enough just tickling it and,
Yeah, that is a little
poking
weird.
the thighs.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I would be doing that.
It's just me. Like, I don't think about it. Like, I just do the thing that I want to do, and then I'm like, oh, they probably think I'm... I mean, like, I say hi to the fucking bodies, like the corpses that are in the crypt. Like, I say hello to them every day when I'm down there. I'm all, who we got in here now? And
Keep the
"Ooh,
spirits at bay.
you're nice and tall or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
don't follow me home.
I literally like just talk to them like they're people, and then now they're gonna start sending me to the morgue by myself. I just know it. Like,
I mean, hey,
which is
hats
fine.
off to
I'd rather
you.
go by myself.
Fuck all that
And they're
shit.
not gonna judge me for saying hi to the corpses.
I didn't do anything nearly as interesting as that, but I did, when I went to South Carolina, we went out there. Apparently it snowed and hailed out here.
Yeah.
In Arizona. Like, it was snowing in Tucson. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Cats and dogs living together. Climate change.
What the fuck is going on? I have to mention it was Mouse's birthday last weekend.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, brother. I did
23rd.
wish him a happy birthday, but it wasn't like I just happened to catch it because I was like offline most of the time.
Fine. It was fun. He got fancy dinner and fancy stuff. I don't know.
Well,
He had a good time.
We had to go out and eat in South Carolina, and it's like, there's a lot of seafood places and stuff around there, which I couldn't eat because I'm vegetarian right now, especially.
gay.
And my mom, of course, is all like, well, I think they have. I'm like, just go where you want to go to eat. I will figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So, because I didn't want them,
They got fries everywhere.
Because it's like, I really love visiting my family. It was really, I had a good time. But I hate, like, my mom went on to tell, oh, he's vegetarian. You know what I mean? Like, to every waitress, to every
one of those
person.
people. Yeah.
Well, I think she just is trying to understand it. So, and it wasn't like, and it's not like I'm ashamed of it, but it's just unnecessary. It's like, whatever, who cares? Let's just eat. Like, I don't want people to go, oh, well, I better not eat this in front of them, because people get weird about that. They're like, oh, you can't eat this. It starts getting really weird.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm just like, cool, enjoy your salad, Karen.
Yeah. Well, that's what we all eat.
I'm gonna eat my rack of ribs.
I just eat grass.
Like, that's cool. Like, I tried it. Mouse was for forever, and then I ruined that.
Yeah.
Within a couple of months, but
You fucking
whatever, man.
murderer.
He does not regret it, so
You're a fucking murderer.
I am.
I'm just kidding.
How do you think those bodies get there?
I'm not that guy, but yeah. We had a lot of fun, though. I even streamed out in South Carolina, like, with my family, and we were getting drunk and shit. So me and my dad, like, went to the bar. I made a video online about it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Like, we had a good time. Of course, when I left, my mom was all, like, making me want to cry, because she's just like, I miss you. And I was like, fuck, don't do this to me.
My mom comes back out on the 9th. So,
oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm like...
Well, see, you get to see... I haven't seen them in, like, almost 3 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. I went that long, though, without seeing my brother and my sister-in-law. It was, like, 5 years before I saw them and the kids.
I've been out here since, like, 2000, and I've probably seen my family, like, I could probably count it on one hand.
That's crazy.
So it's like, and I'm getting fucking older, so it's like starting to scare me a little bit, so I really try to take it in, but it's like I tried not to argue with my dad, because me and him are very stubborn individuals, and we both want respect as men, we both want the same thing, but we both we will not back down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really silly, but we made a big joke about it afterwards. Like, but anyway, I really had a good time. So it was nice to go out, sign offline, and now I've got to spend 3 weeks to build all of you guys back up to listen to us for another fun-filled fucking episode each week. So share this with your friends, help us out by reaching new people. But other than that, I would say I think it's about that time, but we're just going to take a shot here, because we don't know what this episode's going to be about, because we're going to be doing our grave plots. We're going to pull a name out of the hat, out of the crystal skull with diamond eyes. And so instead, we're going to go ahead and jump into our grave plots right
Fucking now.
All right, guys, so we're back. We're going to be doing our grave plots. So we got the crystal skull here. Can you hear that? We got quite a few in here. Let's see what we got. I'm going to pull it out this time, so just remember that next time.
Pull it out every time.
What are we talking about?
It's like...
So, by the way, before I say what this is, every time we do this, we add some of our own. We add some of our listeners' suggestions. Like, they go to our longlivthevoid.com/contact section. They go down to the drop-down menu for purpose, and then select grave plot suggestion, and then we add it to the pile. Now, I went online, asked you guys to do it, and you did. Thank you so much. You guys rock. I only picked 2. If you did more than 2, I just picked 2 that I thought sounded really cool and put them in the cup. Ones that had cuss words in it, I can't really put up on iTunes, although I allowed one because we figured out a way around it. But one of the Grave Plot podcast guys were saying, what was it called?
Shitting blood.
Shitting blood was one of the ones. So I had to remove that one, even though I wanted to keep it. I just knew iTunes was going to be a dickhead about it, because they won't allow you to blank out anything, change words, abbreviate, like cuss words, like what the fuck world do you live in? Anyway, so if you guys want to do that, please do it. We will be doing another one here shortly, but it looks like, and I'm sorry to say, this is one of mine. So out of all the ones we got, I had to pick one of mine. Are you ready for this, Brittany?
Yep.
It's called Dave Did It.
Who the fuck is Dave?
Exactly. We got to figure it out, Brittany.
It's a whodunit.
Who the fuck is Dave?
Who the fuck is Dave?
I picture that in the. Well, I don't want to spoil it. I'll let you try to spin your yarn of a story.
Spin my yarn.
So basically, guys, what we're doing is we're going to come up with the entire story, the kills, the deaths, everything, until we figure out within the next 45 minutes to an hour what the fuck this movie is going to be about.
Well, it's going to be a whodunit, Alex.
Dave did it, man. Dave did it.
It's called Dave Did It, so obviously we need to find out who the fuck Dave is.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, like, I'm not going to, like, throw my spin on it, but it's just funny thinking about it because it's like, how many movies do you go, oh, well, he did it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I guess, like, Jason and Jason movies and shit like that.
Well, most slashers.
I think it'd be funny to play with it somehow, so you figure it out. It's all you.
I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a slasher movie. Whodunit. I think this is going to take place in a shitty town.
Okay.
Somewhere. I don't know. Where should we do it?
Well, if you're asking, I can throw in my hat. I would say that I like immediately when I heard the name, when I said the name in my head and said it out loud now, I immediately think of like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode almost. like they stumble upon something and then they go, it says Dave did it or something. I don't know. But I don't know. It could be a college town. It could be whatever. That's what I think of. Or maybe just like a bar. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it would be cool to do it through the eyes of the people trying to solve the crime. Or like, that's the main, not through their eyes, but like, that's who we're watching, trying to solve this crime, right? So trying to figure it out, the clues, but we see all the kills through the killers.
Okay, so like a slasher, like a typical...
Kind of like, I guess, yeah.
Giallo or slashker. Slashker.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to put a spin on Dave Did It.
I just, like, this is... Can I tell you what I picture? Like...
No.
Like, no? All right, well, so this is what I picture. Okay, I picture, like, everybody's, like, having a time or something like that, and they come in a room and they see blood painted on the fucking wall, and it's, like, all over the fucking place, and they're like, oh, my God, like, Chelsea's dead, or whoever the fuck it is, and they're like... He's like, oh my God, Dave did it. And then, like you said, someone says, who the fuck is Dave? And that's how the movie starts.
That'd be good.
Do you know what I mean?
I like that.
It's like, I feel like it's kind of a comedy a little bit, but we can make it really graphic.
Well, yeah.
And kind of silly, almost in that Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Digging a new shitter hole.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
Like, everybody blames themselves because they think it's like one of them, but they think it's like a lie, and really it is Dave, this guy named Dave, who's just like putting his name out there because he wants to get caught, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, how else would you spin
Eventually,
that?
they just like wrangle up every Dave in the town.
It's like Dewey from fucking, what was it, Scary Movie?
Officer Dewey.
Yeah.
Officer...
I'll get my dick sucked or something like that. What was he
Doofy. Officer Doofy.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. He's got the vacuum out.
Officer Doofy reporting for duty.
And by the end, he's this hot model guy, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, it's silly. I mean, it's not like a great movie, but...
Gale swallows.
Gale swallows. Yeah, so okay, so like we gotta have like a group of people, so I feel like, you know, let's just balance it out. I mean, do we want to say that these people are like just like master graduates or something like that? They're trying to like all get into the working field or whatever. Some of them are working regular jobs, but they hang out kind of like they did in college, but they're more of an adult now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you know what I mean?
Young adults.
They're still trying to shake off that party thing, but they still go out and have a good time to bars and shit like that or whatever.
Yeah, that works. Graduate students.
Maybe
they're like graduates.
Maybe they're having a party in the very beginning.
Graduation party.
And then somebody stumbles over the dead body when they walk in a room trying to have sex with somebody. And then they turn on the light and it's this panic and it's like, what the fuck? And then it's like, Dave did it. And they're like, but maybe it's like after the party's died down and they're going in the room after they wake up on the couch or something like that. And then they trip over the body and they see blood everywhere. And then like other people are like, maybe one person's in the room with them, passed out drunk. He's got blood all over him. Maybe there's someone, they hear them scream. They walk in and then they see Dave did it on the wall with all the blood and like the severed head or something. Like we got to come up with some cool way that Dave kills these people, whoever Dave is.
Who fucks Dave?
Yeah, but I feel like it'd be funny, like, if they tripped over the body, and then it's like they scream, and then people run in, and then they turn on the light. They're like, oh my God, Dave did it. And they turn to him, and they're like, wait, who the fuck is Dave? And that's when the movie starts.
That'll work.
Kind of paints a little bit better picture. How do you think this killer should kill people to leave? Other than, well, I guess he could kill them in different ways, because he just spells it on the wall, right?
Yeah. He doesn't necessarily have to have like ton of, yeah, I mean, that's his calling card or whatever. His signature is writing.
Dave did it.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be in blood. It can just be with whatever.
So maybe like, they're trying to, the cops come or something like that. And all these people are trying to figure out who the fuck Dave is. Like, they have all these people, and they're like, do you have a friend named Dave? I don't even know a Dave. Mm-hmm. Like, I think I knew a Dave back in high school, but I don't know. I don't even know who he is. He doesn't live around here. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
Right.
So they're, like, trying to ask all their friends. The cops are kind of involved in it in some way. Or maybe they're trying to cover it up because they don't know. I don't know. That would be weird, right?
Yeah.
What would be a reason that they wouldn't tell the cops? Is there one?
Drugs.
Oh, yeah.
They're drug dealers. That's how they're paying for college.
Ooh, maybe they're all high on coke and there's like drugs everywhere or something. And so they try to cover it up or something at first? Or do you think that's a good idea like that? Or
I don't know. You can get the cops involved too.
Does it matter?
It doesn't really matter, no.
Yeah, I guess not. I just think it's kind of funny because then they're like kind of tiptoeing around and accusing other people of it. You know what I mean? Because if the cops are involved, then it's like...
Well, I mean, yeah, if we keep it confined to this group of people, then yeah, we don't have to involve the cops. We can just...
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
What if her head was on like a record player playing a song?
And every time it spins around, it throws more blood all over the wall.
Yeah. I think it would be funny to like definitely have the head... playing some song. What song would be like really annoying and stupid?
This is a song that...
No, hell no. Why would they play that?
Why not?
I don't know. That's too... Well, maybe not annoying. Just something that's like...
Nickelback.
The opposite of... Yeah, maybe he's got...
by Nickelback.
Yeah, maybe he's always got some song playing in the background.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Okay, we know his name is Dave. We know that he loves Nickelback.
On my own.
Oh God, Whitesnake?
Yes. Going down and on the road, I'll have no.
That would be kind of funny, huh?
That'd be fucking great.
So
that or Journey.
So maybe
don't stop.
What if it was more ironic? You know what I mean? Like a song that's like a little bit more ironic.
I was trying to think if I know of any songs that have Dave in the title or in the lyrics, but I don't.
Well, what if it's Dave Matthews?
Oh, Dave Matthews Band. That would be terrible. Let's do that.
Let me look up songs, like, because I got to look it up now. I got to see. Crash into me, baby.
Cannot stand the Dave Matthews Band.
I
It's
can't
perfect.
either.
Dave did it with Dave Matthews Band playing in the back.
I don't know.
Time. That song's always on. I like it. Let's do it.
No, it can't be Dave Matthews.
Yes,
fuck that.
It can.
Really?
Why not?
No. Whitesnake. I like Whitesnake better.
Do you?
Yeah, because I don't think anybody else, like, I don't know, maybe people do know a lot of his stuff. Yeah, but do we really want to kick off a movie with Dave Matthews?
Band? Why not? Fuck it.
What about Tiffany? I think we're alone now. I think that would be funny.
I do like Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll take Tiffany. I think we're alone now because it's pretty
I just think it would be funny to start the whole movie off with Tiffany. You know,
I think we're alone now.
There doesn't seem to be anyone. All right, that's without as much as we can do without getting copyright striked. Strike. Anyway, so yes, whatever, guys. I'm sorry. We can't think off the top of our head that easily. Just suck it up, okay?
Eat a dick.
So Dave loves Tiffany, okay? And so now that kind of whittles it down to who it is. But I think it would be funny that throughout the movie, somebody's always listening to Tiffany.
Yeah.
And they're like, who the fuck listens to Tiffany? That's got to be easy.
Or the song that he's playing when they find the body is a hint on who's next.
Oh, that's not too bad either. Maybe the girl that died is Tiffany, and it's I think we're alone now.
Die next is Tiffany.
I don't know, but see, then I think that's cool. I definitely think that's cool. But in the same regard, I kind of like that idea of like them always like
I do like that too.
Hearing Tiffany and then going like
everywhere.
Yeah. So like they follow the trail of Tiffany to get to the killer.
They follow her to the mall. Problem solved. Mystery solved.
It's someone that works at the mall.
Movie's over.
They work at the mall.
They're the talent acquisitioner at the mall. I don't think that's the right word, but
but I do like that idea. I think it is cool that what you said, but I think like that would be cool, but then we'd have to come up with like all these different songs and
we'll
Jesus
take
Christ.
Like a million. Yeah, we'll cut the kills down to like 4.
Plus, we already know this is going to be an extremely gory comedy that will be dealing with running into Tiffany's songs throughout. I don't even know all of her songs. Do you know?
I only know the one.
Well, then fuck it. We'll just say that, you know, they always happen to hear this one song and like they get a little like, you know, shell shocked from it. You know what I mean? Like whenever they hear it, like I feel like people need to die. Yeah. Like somehow, some way, it just keeps following. And then for whatever reason, it's just following all of them and their friends. So like all of a sudden they'll be at a club and they'll hear this song and they'll be like, wait, is that fucking Tiffany playing?
Like the Final Destination of Tiffany.
Right. Yeah. Like, and so the song's always following them. And I think it's kind of funny. So like maybe someone dies in the bathroom at the club. And they don't know, and they're like, but then they start getting blamed because the police are like, yo, what the fuck?
Why is someone dying everywhere you are?
Everywhere you are, and they're like trying to convince them, so maybe they go on the run or something like that. That'd be kind of funny. But we gotta have some like really gory ways to die. But we gotta introduce a lot of these characters, so who are we gonna pick?
How many are we doing?
I don't know. 3 and 3? I don't know. So maybe like 3 guys, 3 girls. 2 of the girls are seeing each other. 3 of the guys
seeing each other.
No, just the girls because it's hotter. I'm kidding.
How about
they're like, you fucking pig.
In a polyamorous relationship with each other.
Yeah,
they're all fucking each other.
Yeah,
perfect.
You fucking pig. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just 3 girls, 3 guys. They are friends. They went to college together. They still live in this town. They're trying to get a job. Some of them are in like different fields of whatever. Like, let's come up with 3 guys' names, 3 girls' names. It doesn't matter what sex they are. Like, you know what I mean? Just come up with like, you know, what they're into. I'm just saying.
Rod.
So we got Rod. What's the other name?
Drew. And Barry.
And then we got Jessica.
Gross.
We'll have Tiffany, who dies, so they'll think it's connected somehow.
She's the first one that's dead.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
That kicks off the whole fucking
Jessica,
thing.
Tiffany, and then Brenda. I always want to kill Brenda.
Let's like mix it up the names a little bit, so we got a little bit like more current names, not just like.
You said Brenda.
That's a tried and true fucking biblical name. I
want to kill a Brenda. Okay.
Okay. Fine.
I always want to kill a Brenda.
We have one more girl to come up with. Let's give her
3.
So we'll get rid of Jessica. I don't like that. We'll get rid of Jessica. We got Tiffany, who died in the beginning. Brenda, who you want to die for some reason. And then we've got 2 more girls that we got to come up with names for.
Why 2? Where do we have to do 3?
One of them died, though. That doesn't count. She does right in the beginning. So there's 3 guys, 3 girls from the start. After that.
Skylar.
Lucinda.
I have a friend named Lucinda.
Yeah. So we got Tiffany, Brenda. Tiffany dies in the beginning. Brenda, Skylar, and Lucinda. Okay. Plus we got Rod, Drew, and Barry. They sound like this is like the white pack.
Barry's black.
Okay, cool. Barry's black then.
About?
Fine. Whatever you want.
So's Rod.
Okay. Well, Rod's black too.
Rod's
cool.
black with a big black rod.
Oh my God. Okay. So, it doesn't really matter what they are. We're just going to use them and we'll come up with like their backstories as we go. So Rod, Drew, Barry, Brenda, Skylar, and Lucinda. go out to for coffee in the next morning or something. Do they all live together, or do they? Is it like a friend situation where they live across the hall?
I feel like if they lived together, that would be too easy.
Right. Kind of spread it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe like 2 of the girls live together. One of them lives on her own. Maybe all the 3 guys live together. Just make it easy.
Sure.
So we'll say Skylar and Lucinda live together. Brenda lives on her own. Rod, Drew, and Barry are still housing together to live in their big bachelor pad, right?
Yeah.
That's where they always party, and they found the dead body.
Cool. Barry's room.
Right.
Barry was boinking Tiffany.
Trying, yeah. Well, no, because she trips over her, remember?
Yeah, he trips over her.
As he was like getting ready to fuck somebody else.
Oh. He could have just been thinking he was going to fuck her because maybe she disappeared there earlier.
Like him and whoever were going to fuck. And they trip over
Rod.
Tiffany's dead body.
Barry and Rod were going to fuck.
And they hear Tiffany on the radio, or on the record player with her head spinning around. They slip on her neck, blood. Slip on her neck, blood.
Slip on her neck, blood. Perfect.
Everybody's screaming, they run in, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so the next day, the police come and everything. We'll just say they came and they're trying, maybe they get together to clean up the house.
They came, they saw, they did nothing.
Right, like they're like, fuck, man, I can't afford to get this cleaned by somebody else, so we got to clean it, guys. Will you help me? And so they're like discussing who this Dave guy is. Right?
Fuck is Dave?
And like, who the fuck is Dave? Like, do you know anybody with Dave in it? Like that likes Tiffany, maybe? I don't know. Why is Tiffany dead? And they were playing Tiffany on the radio before I fucking tripped over a fucking headless corpse.
My mind's blown, man. I don't know.
And they're like, I don't know. It's a really catchy tune though. So maybe it was just like coincidence. Too. I don't think it's a coincidence, fucking Rod.
Fuck you, Rod.
Yeah. Guys, can we just focus on cleaning the fucking room? It's really fucking disgusting in here.
Like, fuck it, let's burn it down. We just move. That's what I'd do if there was a murder in my house and like it was really messy.
Well, one of them's got to be kind of like a gumshoe, kind of like wannabe, Angela Dale or whatever her name is from fucking Murder, She Wrote, who wants to like solve mysteries, and they're like,
fucking Murder, She Wrote.
Always comes up. So which one do you think is like the one that's like really curious about it?
Lucinda.
You think Lucinda's the one? Okay, the one that lives with Skylar. So Lucinda's like really curious about it. She was like, no, we really got to figure this out, guys, because like as much as I trust you guys and we all grew up together, it's a little weird that someone just died in our place, don't you think? You know what I mean? And then they go out to the club that night to shake it off.
Shake it off.
Oh my God. Is this like a girl band thing? Like, are we doing?
No, you said it.
I know. I didn't mean it like that. God damn it.
You started with Tiffany.
What a stupid bitch. She ruined my wedding. I'm just kidding.
Rude.
Anyway, so they go to the
Leave
fucking...
Taylor alone.
I don't hate her. Although she's Kanye's better. So, just kidding. Anyway, so they go to the club that night. They figure they're going to have some drinks and some of the people are going to meet up. And they hear some remix version of Tiffany on the thing. And they're like, hey, it's that fucking song. But who's in the bathroom? Who's going to go next? I feel like it's going to be one of the guys.
It is. It's going to be...
But everybody's mixed up in the crowd. They're all doing different things. So you kind of pin it on each other.
It's going to be Barry. Barry's going to die.
Barry. It's time. Why do you got to kill the black guy, man?
Feeling Barry. Rod's black too.
Okay. All right. So he's not the only one, but he is going to be the first one.
No, then we're killing Drew.
So Drew, what kind of person is Drew?
Drew's dying. Drew's a stoner.
Okay. So he's like smoking pot out of a vape pen in the bathroom.
Yeah. And he also wants to go do some coke. I don't know.
Right.
He's the drug addict.
Okay.
He's the white guy.
So we want to lose the comedy, the comic relief. But his death should be funny, right?
Yeah.
Like it should be really brutal and really funny.
Yeah, he spills some of the coke off the back of the toilet into the next to the rim of the toilet, and so he's trying to fucking schnoz it up down there.
What if you see like the camera like looking through the crack in the toilet stall? Right, yeah. But I think it would be funny if he's like doing it and he's kind of like fumbly. And what if the guy just like bashes his head on the pile of coke or the killer, Dave, supposedly.
Dave!
Yeah. And breaks his head over the toilet over and over again. He's like, hold on, man, way too much.
I can't do that much coke, man. Fuck.
Oh, you're getting
Hey,
it
you're
everywhere.
spilling it. Stop spilling my coke.
And he just keeps bashing his head until it's like
And then his eyeballs pop out and his teeth fall out.
I feel like you would see like it like breaks the thing eventually, but his face, you see in like a divot inside his face.
And there's coke in his eye socket.
Right. And like the music changes right before it happens. And they're like trying to scramble around to find their friends. They're like, hey, what the fuck?
Has anyone seen Drew?
Right. Like, where's Drew? Where's Lucinda? Where's, whatever. Everybody's like running around kind of panicked a little bit. And they're like on edge. And then you hear a scream. And then it's like, everybody's like freaking out and the police come again. And they're like, what the fuck? And they're all upset. Maybe it's kind of, if it's comedy, I don't want them to be upset. It's just like more scared maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think we should do then? Like, what do they do then? Now they're like petrified to leave the house and be in their house by themselves. So like
they all shack up together.
Right.
At someone's house. I feel like they should go to Lucinda and Skylar's house.
Yeah, maybe Brenda. Well, yeah, maybe Rod and them were like.
Brenda's getting killed on her way to the house.
Rod and Barry are like, we should go to my house. And they're like, yeah, fuck that. There's a dead person that we just cleaned up earlier.
Yeah, so they all decide to meet at Skylar and Lucinda's house.
Okay.
Right, so Brenda's got to go get some stuff in order to do that. On the way to the house, Brenda's driving, and all of a sudden, the song comes on the radio as she's driving, and she's just like, what the fuck? As she's getting ready to, like, drive through this intersection, right? And then all of a sudden, she gets T-boned. She flips a bunch of times. She lands.
What if the music's pumping it before it hits her?
That's what I'm saying.
She turns down her music and hears it.
And then she hears it in a distance with like the car that's coming towards her.
Right.
It'd be fucking sweet.
And you see somebody in the back behind the wheel, like jamming it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like revving their engine at the light.
Yeah.
Or like down the road or something like that.
Yeah. So then he hits her. T-bones her, whatever. Car goes flipping, lands upside down. So she's suspended upside down in the car, right?
She
then
gets out.
No, I think she should stay in the car. She's stuck there. She can't get the seatbelt undone. She's just kind of like dangling upside down on the ceiling. And then you see a hand reach in side of the car, turn the radio up to turn up that song even louder.
Okay.
In her car. And then he lights a match and the fucking car blows up.
That's pretty good. Okay, just let me give you the suggestion, because this is what I was thinking right before it. We don't have to pick this, but I was thinking like, what if he flips her car over? She gets out and she's like, "What the fuck?" Like what the? And she's like dazed. She's bleeding from the head. She opens her car door and she's like, and you hear the truck or whatever, the hitter speed off, right? And it goes away and she's like, oh my God, like, and she's about to call her friend and she's like, as she's calling one of them, she's like, oh my God, I just got T-boned, like, or something, you know what I mean? Like her friend calls her maybe and she picks it up and she's like, I just got T-boned and my car flipped. And they were like, oh my God, like, and she was like, I heard the fucking Tiffany music. And they were like, wait, what? And she was like, yeah, the motherfucker.
Hits
Bam!
Yeah, I like that
Like
better.
the car.
That's funnier.
Like the truck comes out of nowhere. It just smashes her
It's like
fucking.
that stereotypical fucking, like, someone gets hit by a bus scene.
Well, you love that shit.
I
Like
do.
we were
It
talking.
cracks me up. I always know it's coming, but I'm always, every time I'm like, it's going to happen.
Maybe.
But I like that. But I mean, I like mine, but yours makes more sense to the story because then they now know that the song is playing there too, because they wouldn't have known otherwise. So unless she was on the phone, she could have been on the phone
Right.
with them when it happened, and then they hear the song get turned up louder, and then hear her screaming, and then that's it.
It'd be funny if like she went under the wheel and he just like spins on her a little bit. Yeah. And like people are standing on the street.
Getting blood all over her.
Yeah. Like a baby, like a woman carrying a baby.
Baby.
And it's just spraying her. Like, I mean, I know that's dark,
Little
but
baby's
like,
I think that's hilarious.
I don't. Yeah,
My baby.
Yeah. People are just like, what the fuck did just happen? I think maybe the blood just gets on him when he smacks her.
No, I like her.
Are you like
spinning
it spinning
Yes.
it? Okay.
Much better.
So the people on the street
A
behind the
baby's
truck.
definitely getting hit with blood too.
And the music's kicking. I think we're alone now.
Beats by. It's like, guy listening to Tiffany? That's what it should happen.
And then it just cuts. I think it cuts. Yeah.
It should be like, were they listening to Tiffany? And then it's over.
What if some like guys just at the bus stop all drunk and he wakes up, he's like, hey, is that Tiffany? And
Yeah.
Like, and then it cuts. You know what I mean? We're trying to be funny here, guys. All right.
The guy at the bus stop can be like, hey, is that Dave?
Oh yeah, huh? So then, you know, the friends were nowhere near this time, but they did call her right before.
They heard it, yeah.
So now the cops are going to obviously investigate. Who was the person that called them?
That called her
right before.
Lucinda.
Well, I thought Lucinda was the one that got hit.
No.
Who'd you say
Brenda
it was?
got hit.
Brenda, okay.
Brenda's dead.
So Brenda got fucking mashed.
Brenda be dead.
She went to go leave her house to go over to Skylar and Lucinda's house.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. That makes sense.
She dead now.
She dead now.
She dead now.
She dead.
So they're going to find a piece of paper in her car that says Dave did it.
Right.
And
oh yeah, huh? We forgot to put that in there.
And it's going to be written in oh my god, he wrote it in Coke.
You think? That can't happen. That would be he'd be like sitting there for like a half hour trying to get that all together. You're like, yeah, fuck it, just arrest me. I was trying to be creative.
Those are easy letters to write Coke. He could do it.
I think he should just.
Why are you doubting Dave?
Maybe it's just on the back of her seat, like her.
No, I was talking about the bathroom.
Oh yeah, we forgot.
Scene. I feel like you should write it out in Coke on the fucking toilet.
Maybe it's like mixed with Coke.
Yeah, that's fine. Blood and Coke.
Yeah, it's on the bathroom stall wall.
Because he wrote it and there's Coke in the blood. Yeah, cool.
So yeah, Drew's blood. Fine. It says Dave did it.
Dave did it.
So the cops are out there looking for some Dave guy.
I think they should just find a piece of paper in her car that says Dave did it or something. Because there's nothing left.
Just like a balled up piece of paper.
Anymore. Yeah, kind of thrown in the back seat.
Right.
Sounds good.
That makes sense or something. Maybe it's in a card. Like it just says Dave did it when they opened it up.
Like, not a thank you card, but fucking it's a thank you card. It'd be funny. My condolences, a condolences card.
Right.
It'd be funny.
So we've okay. So
Sorry
I'm gonna
your loss, Dave.
I'm gonna say that Brenda mashed by truck, Drew death by Coke
/ toilet seat or toilet
smash. So, okay. So we got Skylar, Lucinda, Rod. Oh, wait. Barry died. Did he die? Or no, it was Drew. Okay.
Drew. We changed it.
So we got Rod, Barry, Skylar, and Lucinda. So I feel like two of them should die at once.
Yep.
Somehow. Should we? No.
Fucking. Kill them when they're fucking.
I think one of them should be there present when the other one dies. So they try to pin it on that person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, Barry's going to kill Skylar.
Yeah, I think what we need to do... I got it. Perfect. I've got it. So, I think that it should happen to one of Skylar and Lucinda. So, when she's they're at their house. This is, like, the next day or whatever. They're, like, there's a lot going on. They're scared to leave their house. You know, things are, like, pretty crazy. She's taking a bath in, like, one of those traditional... bathtubs, and she lives in like a, you know, like the 7th story, and you see someone peering through the window, kind of like looking at her while she's cleaning her, you know, like bathing in bubbles and stuff like that. It's just kind of revealing, nothing like ridiculous, and she's like putting in a bath bomb, you know, and all this other shit. And you just kind of see this person kind of like looking through the window. You never see them, you know, you just hear breathing or something like that. But they come in through another window or something like that. She gets electrocuted somehow, and it maybe pops out her eyeballs or something like that. Or maybe they pour something in the tub and it melts her. Anything like that, but they have to have the music of Tiffany playing on a stereo inside the place.
In the house?
Yeah, like in the bathroom.
Oh, because I was like, it'd be funny if they just changed the music on her headphones.
Maybe he chucks a fucking old boombox, yeah, into the tub that's plugged in, you know what I mean? And it shocks the shit out of her. But she lives, and then something happens somehow. I don't know. Should somebody be able to live through that, you think?
Probably not.
It's a movie. We can do whatever the hell we want, right?
A man, but I don't know if a small woman especially, I don't think so.
Maybe he plays it outside the window on a boombox.
Say anything.
Right. And so, like... There's got to be some sort of like struggle in the bathroom, though. You know what I mean? The door's locked. So it's Skylar's in the tub, you're saying. So Skylar's in the tub. Lucinda is like outside wearing her headphones or something like that in her bedroom or something like that while she's taking a bath or whatever. And there's got to be some fight, some struggle, like she almost dies because they try to throw the thing in the tub, but she gets out. You think she's going to die that way. And then the killer comes in and does something else while you see like it keeps going back and forth to Lucinda. Mm-hmm. And like Lucinda's just like jamming to some fucking other track. I don't know what it is, but it's like you hear the music of Tiffany on the outside on the boombox, and like maybe they're struggling through there and she's getting stabbed a few times. She gets in a few licks, Skylar does. But if she gets her end somehow in some creative way. Like, how do we kill her? I don't want to just shock her because that's just way too simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wanted to think like she's going to get shocked. Because he breaks like the window and tries to throw a hairdryer in the thing. What do you think? And he tries, but she jumps out like and is like, "Holy shit!" Mm-hmm. And then how would he kill her though? Like, what's a creative way? So he tries slashing her with like a literal knife
or a piece of broken glass.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
You just stab her or cut her a bunch, maybe stab her a couple times, and then eventually maybe he just wraps the
I got it.
Hairdryer cord around her neck or something, and then turns it on, full blast on her face, and burns the shit out of her.
So there's 2 windows in this bathroom. It's like a really big bathroom, whatever. You know what I mean? And there's like, shades or whatever the fuck it is. But maybe he bashes her head through and saws her neck on the fucking glass.
Oh, I like that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so she's screaming and it gurgles. You know what I mean? This and yeah, when he throws the hairdryer, I think in the tub, she leaps up and has got her feet and her hands over the tub to try to do it, and it turns out the lights. But what's her name's got her eyes closed or something like that, or I don't know. Maybe it just flickers them and it doesn't actually turn them off. And she just kind of, like her friend Lucinda is like listening to something on her iPod or whatever the fuck it is. And she kind of looks up and is like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
That's when the struggle happens. She's getting stabbed with broken glass, gets her head smashed through the window, saws her fucking head on the fucking broken window. And then he just snaps her head off on the other side, stomps on her head maybe on the other side. As she's dying, he stomps on the back of her head. And it just like falls off onto the thing, and he just leaves, whatever.
He just leaves.
He leaves the music playing on.
All right, bye.
Maybe it's not like a tape player boombox, or maybe it is a single of Tiffany. I think we're alone now.
On repeat.
Right, and the cops at this point are like really kind of curious.
He wrote, "Dave did it in mascara on the mirror." Dave did it.
Right. So then when Lucinda finally breaks through the door, she slips in the blood and gets it all over, and they try to lock her up. What do you think?
Yeah, that'll work.
I think this would be a good opportunity, too. Like, this killer is actually, I don't want to say it's a cop, because that's just too dumb.
I think it should be either Barry or Rod.
You think? Well, because we only have, Lucinda, Barry, and Rod. So you think Rod or Barry should be at it?
Or it is Lucinda. I don't know.
Maybe Rod, tries calling Lucinda or something like that when she slips on the blood or whatever. You hear a phone ring, and so you think it might be Rod or something like that. I don't know. We don't have to get too heady with it. Like, I just want to be able to like get some kills and some deaths, and we don't have to get to the end just yet. Do we want all of the friends to die, or do we want Barry and Rod and Lucinda to be? Lucinda should be in jail because they hold her just because they think.
Or maybe they think it's one of the guys. Maybe it's Barry or is Barry dead?
Well, maybe they investigate her and they're like, she seems a little shook up for this kind of to be.
For her to have done it.
I've been doing this a long time, and I just can't imagine that girl who's fucking petrified in there being the one. But we got to detain her anyway or something like that. I think it would be kind of interesting if somehow, I don't know, there's got to be some fucking hook, right? But I picture this. I picture it a small They take her to some police overflow fucking place where they take other people. It's a smaller little place for the police to detain people because they're out of room at the main one or something like that. And so that they're low staffed and there's like 3 officers there, and like someone comes into the place jamming it over the loudspeaker after killing the person at the front who handles all the calls. You know what I mean? They walk in and like the lights are flickering and you hear the Tiffany song playing over the thing. And she's like freaking out in the fucking jail cell or something like that. What do you think? Or in like a hospital? It could be a hospital because she could be like...
Well, if they're detaining her because she's all disoriented, it's probably a psych watch.
That's what I'm thinking. So it's like a
She's
smaller
like
one.
In a small padded room.
Right.
Freaking the fuck out. Like...
And instead of the like happy music that they play over to keep everybody like chill, they play the Tiffany, and everybody starts singing. Like some of the people are dancing, and it's just kind of silly. The people who are being detained,
the mentally unstable people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of them, by the way, guys. I'm just saying we're painting a picture here. But you see somebody walking down and breathing as it's like, and then she's like panicking as they come into the jail cell. Now, how does she die? God, I mean, we've killed all the girls, like right off the
bat. That's why I didn't want to kill her. I think she should live.
Okay, so yeah, maybe she's in the psych ward.
How about
then.
we just think it, and then it's like
maybe one of the guys goes to visit her.
Yeah,
and that's when he dies in front of her.
Yeah.
So you know it's not Lucinda.
Right.
It's Dave.
Dave. Who the fuck is Dave?
So who do we say? Rod?
We're killing Rod now.
Okay, so Rod goes to visit Lucinda at the crazy place. Rod gets killed while she's at the psych ward or whatever, the psych detention or whatever, to keep people under duress so that they don't hurt themselves or hurt anybody else. But you can tell that she's almost like catatonic. So how does Rod die? I like the whole playing it over the loudspeaker. He'd murdered whoever it was, murdered all the people on the way to Rod and her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Maybe someone's watching her through a window or something like that at the psych ward while he's in there visiting. Rod is visiting.
Camera. No, there's not going to be a window there.
Okay.
Probably most likely. So be probably just on a camera feed.
Okay. The music plays over the loudspeaker. Rod and them.
He's going to have to kill him with some type of sedative or whatever, or at least like sedate him to where he's paralyzed, paralytic.
Okay.
Because there's not going to be a whole lot of options in like a psych ward area unless he brings stuff with him. But I feel like he should like inject him with some type of a paralytic first, and then he's like a floppy
Is that what
fish.
they call it? A paralytic? Is that really? Oh, I have no idea.
It's a medication that paralyzes you.
Okay.
I can't think of a name of an actual medication off the top of my head right now, but yeah.
So he does that, but he also injects him with something else that causes him to like
explode.
Like really fuck up. Maybe he just shoots him up with some sort of like acid.
Let's explode him.
Into his head or something?
No, let's shoot it into his neck.
And so his neck melts off, sort of?
His neck melts off.
Like what?
No, it just injects it right into like his artery in his neck, and then it goes throughout his bloodstream and just like melts his whole body internally. And then he like kind of sinks in, and he's all gross and soupy.
Okay. What if he just like walks in with a bucket of it?
Throws it on him?
As he's like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like...
He's all in a janitor suit at the same time.
It's like some fucking RoboCop
face
shit.
Melting.
Yeah. Or that dude gets nailed by the car and just explodes.
I feel like him exploding would be cool, but
it'd be just cool to like watch him writhe around in pain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In front of Lucinda.
That'd be cool as she's screaming.
Right.
And then Tiffany's, I think we're alone now.
So, but there's got to be some weird twist, right? Like, there's got to be something unique about it, not just like your average slasher. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be like, how would we do that? Like, I was thinking, like, what if they were like brainwashing people to kill him, her friends somehow? But then I'm like, maybe the Tiffany song actually causes some people to go crazy. But then I'm like, we've kind of already done that with the whole ho-ho homicide thing. So, because we did the fucking White Christmas.
It's a good episode.
Yeah, that was a good episode. If you haven't listened to that, by the way,
really
listen.
Good episode.
Listen now.
Or it could just be Barry. Barry's
but
got
we get multiple
personality disorder, and one of his personalities is the psycho killer Dave.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And it was the drunk guy passed out in the beginning.
Done. Nailed it.
Right? But why he did it is like really weird.
Yeah, no, we gotta think of like some backstory for Dave. Maybe Dave was originally his dominant personality, but he was never like accepted by everybody else,
and he took on somebody else's.
He took on some other personality, which is Barry.
Yeah,
and
at like
Barry
16.
was popular and well liked, so then that became his dominant personality. While
because they only knew each other in college, like we said, didn't we? Like some of them may have known each other in high school, but for the most part, they all knew each other in college. Mm-hmm. So maybe when he was 16, when this kid was 16, he killed this kid, taking over him and taking over his identity.
He killed Barry and stole Barry's identity.
Right.
So now
he was like a foster kid or something like that. Or maybe he was 18 and he left to go to college, took over his identity, went to college as this kid, knew them, made friends with them the whole fucking time. And something happened that maybe it's Lucinda he was always had this crush on or something. I know that sounds pretty typical.
Lucinda's his Tiffany. He loves her.
How would we spin that though? Why would he do it?
I don't know. Maybe it reminds him of his sister or something.
And that she's so innocent or whatever like that.
Yeah, and he's trying to protect her in some weird way.
And it was like, oh, what if he killed his own sister before he killed that kid? And he has some weird connection with Lucinda because she reminds him of the innocence of his sister, who he also killed and murdered. And I don't know if
or
he
that
did
kid killed his sister.
Maybe. No, because like then if he killed his own sister, then it would make sense that he's
trying to save her for last.
Right.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? So Barry is fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Barry's a fucked up motherfucker.
Barry's real fucked up.
And he's actually Dave. And maybe we'll go through like when he walks through the psych ward, because like just to get you guys back into what we were talking about, because we're kind of all over the place there. Basically, Lucinda's in the psych ward of this overflow place, in some place where it's a little bit less cops or less staff,
less trafficked.
Yeah, a lot of not so much staff. Maybe there's like 3 people on
skeleton,
like an orderly and like 2 other like staff members, like a doctor and a nurse or something like that. And the doctor's going home, kind of thing, but dies. We got the front desk person. Let's talk about how he kills each and every one of them on the way there, or at least one of them. You know what I mean? Like
chokes out the doctor with his stethoscope.
Well, what about because he's got to go through the front door, so, or whoever's at the front desk is like, sir, you can't go in there, sir. And then something happens. Maybe he just opens the door really hard and then snaps her neck back and her face is all fucked up, like right off the bat.
That'll work.
Sir, you can't go in there. I think it'd be cool if like the jaw busted so bad that it choked her out and you just hear her like choking on her own thing, writhing around on the ground. It's kind of dark, but it's funny. Just kidding. So then you got an orderly talking to one of the doctors or whatever like that. Maybe there's another nurse somewhere, whatever. Or maybe one of the orderlies is trying to like hook up with one of the nurses or something like that, the typical thing. And the doctor's in another room filling out the paperwork to get ready to go home. He's on call, whatever. Mm-hmm. How does that person, you said stethoscope?
Hang him by it.
What if he like puts the thing in his ear, tapes his head, plays Tiffany through the thing?
Oh, that would suck.
Till his ears are bleeding, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, especially if he puts the end of the stethoscope up to the fucking boombox and puts it on full blast, it's gonna blow your eardrums out. Right.
And then he's deaf and he's crawling around the hospital trying to like do things, but somehow like, and then the other guy goes to kill the orderly and the Dave the killer, Barry, we've already kind of established, goes to kill the orderly and the girl. How does he kill them? They're like in the middle of like, kind of like doing something naughty. Maybe they're smoking weed. It could be anything. And I think it would be cool, like if before the doctor gets killed and he gets the stethoscope like taped on his head and then his ears bleed and shit like that, as he like turns up the music and it's like jamming through the thing. Tiffany, of course. I think it'd be cool if he was on the phone with like his like family. He's like, I'll be home soon, you know?
Yeah.
Something like that. Or maybe it could be like, maybe he's like calling his mistress. And so you don't feel so bad. You like enjoy his death. But he's like crawling around on the ground or whatever. writhing around with blood coming out of his ears. Maybe the guy like broke his ankles or something like that, so he can't even like call, and he yanked out the phone so he can't call anything, stepped on his cell phone, whatever the fuck you want to do. Goes after the disorderly and the nurse. What are they doing that is bad?
What if they're stealing patient stuff?
You gotta
like the stuff that's like kept personal belongings or whatever. That come in with the patients, like they're going through like their wallets.
Maybe they're doing coke or something from someone of the.
They wouldn't have
that. Okay.
I don't think so.
All right.
Pretty sure the cops would take that first.
So they're going through their personal belongings together.
Yeah.
Trying to find stuff they can sell because they're not making enough money at the job they're doing. Okay. And
that
walks.
Or they're stealing drugs from the hospital.
Oh yeah, that might be better. Yeah, maybe they're like going through and they got some sort of partnership, the nurse and the orderly. So what does Dave do to come in and kill them? Like, how does he do it? Like, it could just be like he walks in and then you see their bodies later. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And how would they have died? Like, as they're walking past? Because I feel like Lucinda should run away from him at some point and get away from him before Rod dies and gets a bucket of that shit thrown on him.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter why he has the bucket of acid, guys. Just go with it, all right?
He just has it.
Okay? It's going to be a cool death no matter what. But I think it'd be cool if she goes in the room with those dead people. You just see him peer through the room as they're going through stuff. Like Dave is looking at them like the stalker, Giallo sort of style, fucking slasher way, breathing. And
maybe he just injected him with all the drugs they were trying to steal.
Maybe he injected him with their eyes, and maybe one of them's still alive when she goes in that room to hide from him. Mm-hmm. And he's like foaming out of the mouth, but like making like crazy noises. But the other one's dead. He killed her some other way. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool. So he jams something in their eye.
Like a syringe.
Like a syringe, and pumps them full of some fucking, like, I don't know, some sort of fucking knockout drug like he did for the other guy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gross, man. Getting stabbed in the eye with a fucking syringe, dude. So, yeah, the comedy's kind of left the area, but...
Well, it's going to have little moments where it's funny. Who cares?
Okay, so then now he walks over, he grabs... You just see Rod talking to her in the room, talking to Lucinda, and he was like, oh my God, I don't know, I feel like we're next, I don't know, like, I feel like I need to be here, they were telling me I have to go, we gotta leave or something like that, do you know any Daves, like, can you think of any Daves, and then you hear something clamor outside, like a pan drop or something like that, and then he opens the door, and he like asks the disorderly, is there anybody out there? And he can't find anyone. And that's when you see whoever walking around the corner with a mask on just dump that shit on him, as he had shut the door behind him. So Lucinda can't really hear.
Yeah.
And he starts screaming, and then he comes in and his flesh is coming off on the door handle.
Sweet.
Yeah. And then he like walks into the room, and Lucinda's like freaking out. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't want to touch him. She's like seeing him melt in front of her, and maybe like his fingers like melt off as he's like trying to touch the door, and he's like spurting blood, and like is just like his face is just deteriorating in front of her, and you hear a fart. No, I'm kidding. When he dies?
Yes.
I'm kidding. That's terrible.
No, that's happening.
That's terrible.
It's perfect.
I was like, how do we throw comedy
the
in
funny's
here?
back. As he's dying, just...
It's all wet, though. It's got to be wet because...
It'd be great. Yep, that's happening. He's farting.
It's just going to be something gross.
The air has left the building. And then for his death, and then all of a sudden it's going to be Barry that jumps up behind the dead body and goes, Dave did it.
Dave did it.
Now Lucinda's like, what the fuck? And then just runs.
Yeah, and he's painted it all over the walls, too.
Yeah.
Dave did it. Dave did it. For every death, every kill that he has. So does Lucinda, I feel like he's like, hey, Dave did it. Something like that, but his voice is gargled or something, like he's tried to change his voice. I don't know. Because we don't want him to know it's Barry, right? Right off the bat. So does he confess at this point?
We're at the end.
Does he confess at this point?
I feel like he's got her some way, shape, or form, right?
Or does he battle her and then she gets away, and then in some weird serial killer romantic way, they both die kind of thing? And then at the very end, the cops like, one of the people was like, fucking Dave did it. They're like, who the fuck is Dave? And that's how the movie ends.
Perfect.
You see what I'm saying? Like, because they both die, they don't know who did it. Mm-hmm. It's got to be one of those things, but they've got to have some sort of fight, like her trying to get past him. Maybe he removes his mask at this point, confesses it to her, and she's like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Did you kill everybody? Are you fucking Dave?
Why would you do that?
Right.
Who the fuck's Dave?
And then he's like,
why'd you write Dave?
You'll never know. Or something stupid, you know, and they have this struggle. She stabs him, gets away, goes into that room where the guy's dying with the needle in his eye, and the chick is dead too. And there's drugs all over the ground or whatever. She goes in there. And maybe how would she try to kill him, but she gets wrapped up in it and they both get exploded or something? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a way that they both die in some creative way where you would not know, because it's got to be in a room where the Dave did it is on the wall. So they don't think, because that's his calling card. Mm-hmm. So they think he's still out on the loose. How would she get the upper hand on him, but then he gets the upper hand on her and they both die? Like, what's a way that we could do that?
I mean, she could go back to not the cell, but the room she was in. Maybe
she pulls the needle out of the dude's eye, stabs him in the neck with, like, maybe she's got other ones and she's just pounding it into his chest and everything like that. And as he's dying and foaming out of the mouth and closing up and seizing, he tells her sort of why he did this. And it flashes back to when she was going to school, all this other shit. He explains it. And she was like, you're fucking crazy. And she, like, drags him into a cell or something in a room where it's locked or something. Maybe it's in that room. She locks it or something like that. Or maybe she's like, she's about to leave, but then he pushes a button. I feel it's so lame.
Blows up the hospital.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I don't like that. Well, he has a fucking grenade launcher.
Like, there's got to be some calling card left. Like, maybe he planned to kill all of them and himself at some point. So it was like his plan B.
Or he fucking, I don't know, stabs her a whole bunch and she's dying and...
Fuck you, Dave!
Yeah, and then that's when he tells her...
About the story. And his name was Dave.
He stabs her one more time and then she dies and then he just takes like a fucking cyanide pill or something.
No cyanide. I like
drug.
that she's getting stabbed. It's like this big battle and he's stabbing her in the side and she's bleeding out of the mouth. She was like, yeah, but you're going to fucking die and I'm going to fucking live. And he's just like, as he's dying or something like it, he pushes a button or whatever. And that triggers off some explosions or whatever as she's like walking out, and maybe she trips the front door and he set an explosive and she just goes flying back.
But then they won't be together to tie up the death to confuse the cops.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, there's got to be some way that they both die in general so that you think as the viewer she's getting away and she made it, but it's like...
You just have another bus hit her outside.
She was like, maybe she's like, as he's dying slowly and she stabbed him with all those drugs and he's foaming out of the mouth or whatever, and she's, maybe he rigged the door that they went in together somehow. You know, maybe put it on the door so that if she opens it or something, you know what I mean? There's got to be something. And she's like having this thing. She was like, well, fuck you, Dave, or whatever. And then she's like, and then the happy music comes in and then boom, and she gets blown up. And then that's when it's like, when the cops show up at the end of it, one of the guys is like, well, Dave did it. No shit, Sherlock. Kind of.
Who the fuck is Dave?
And then the new guy's on and he's like, wait, who the fuck is Dave?
Yeah.
And then it just stops.
Bam, credits, Tiffany. One more time. Perfect.
Hey, look, guys, this is the best we could do.
That was actually pretty good.
I think it would be a fun story if we actually spent like some time like fleshing it out and made it a little bit more thing. But you got to remember, we really did this in like 45 minutes to an hour. So maybe even more. So you just got to remember, like, it's not going to come out perfectly. But what do you think the tagline should be? Who the fuck is Dave?
Done.
All right, I'm down with that. So we got the tagline.
Wait, who the fuck is Dave?
Right. So I think that's pretty fun. I think we got a pretty good idea of like how the movie goes. I think we got enough characters to make it interesting. I'm sure if we had more time to flesh it out, we would have a lot more.
I like it.
I think I would watch it.
I would too.
It seems like a decent idea. And I definitely would like to see some of those kills.
Yeah.
Like the neck sawing, the fucking car crash, like where he smashes into her, like suddenly. I love those. I know those are considered jump scares, but I still love when somebody gets smashed for some reason.
They're pretty dope.
Like, have you ever seen the, what was it, The Purge? The third Purge. This girl's outside and she's like this fucker, you know what I mean? Like, she's like really evil. And she's like doing some evil shit to the store owner or whatever. And she just gets plowed by this car. And I just stood up and was like, yes! But what do you guys think of Dave Did It?
Who the fuck's Dave?
Yeah. We fucking came up with something, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, what would you guys have done? Would you added anything? Would you taken anything out? Do you like what we did with it? Definitely give us a shout out in the comments below and let us know what you think of this episode. It really does go a long way. And as I always mention, if you guys ever want to be a part of us doing this, I don't know if I'm going to be doing a trailer or not. There's a lot of extra work that I'm going to be doing for this episode to get all the sound effects and possibly a trailer. I'm hoping I'll have time to do a trailer. I'm going to try my best to do a trailer. This is going to be a kind of a tough, very specific movie to make a trailer for, but I'm going to try my best. A lot of the time that I spend, by the way, is just searching for content that matches it.
Yeah.
So I have to spend like hours looking for this shit. And then I have to go in and try to match it, add voiceover stuff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and I'm just hoping there's some movie with some cop who says, "Who the fuck is Dave?" Anyway, I think it was pretty cool. It was a good one.
I like it.
I'm glad that we got to do one of these again. I know it's always stressful, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And next week we will be doing 2 movies, The Beasties and Night of the Chihuahuas, I think it's called. I have to look this up, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. So it's going to be Tiny Terrors Volume 2, I think.
So cute. I'm going to preemptively tell you I hate you. This is probably going to be terrible.
I'm sure one of them is going to be terrible, like 100%. But I just couldn't pass it up. Someone told me that I needed to watch it, and I was like, oh my God. Night of the Chihuahuas.
Freddy loves dogs. Let's do it.
Anyway, guys, I'll let you guys know next week what we're going to be doing anyway. If you haven't already, subscribe to our VIP. Do that. I'm going to try to keep up with that again to let you guys know. It's just, I'm a one-man show here running everything, so it takes me a lot of work. But I do appreciate you guys. We always appreciate you guys coming back every week to listen and sharing with your friends. So, as always,
stay weird, monsters.
Listening to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. Tune in every Monday from